Are you ready for marriage? A phrase I've yet to be asked outside of multiple green card scams. Reuben Hill, the lesser-known battle fought at the same time as Hamburger Hill, but on a separate check. When people without sex appeal hook up. Oh, she's whispering her meatloaf recipe. Then remember, the key is to use oatmeal instead of breadcrumbs. He's so dreamy. Should I ask him his name? Oh, no. Settle down, Sue. All in good time.
Good night, sweetheart. Good night, darling. Larry, isn't it exciting about our getting married?
Oh, I guess I'm not invited in. God damn it. My balls are bluer than 2 Smurf polyps.
Go home!
Kids love the great taste of notions.
So I asked her last night at a graduation prom, and she said yes. We're going to be married in August.
Wow, married?
You're stupid.
She's just finishing high school, and you still have 2 years at the university.
Reality?
That's
What
a
is this
tough road,
bullshit?
Larry. What are you going to use for money?
Well, Sue's folks were going to pay something to put her in junior college here in town for 2 years. So we'll have that. But instead of going to college, she'll get a full-time job in campus town.
Forget it, Jake.
Hey, she doesn't care anymore about education. So with that, and my part-time job, well, we'll get by.
I bet her parents can't wait to turn her tuition over to me, a shiftless
You're
loser.
Sue now. You two probably want to be alone.
Well, she's at the other end of the hall. You don't have to leave right... Well, okay, bye.
Sue, honey.
Oh, Larry.
Well, what's the matter?
Well, my name is
It's
Jan.
for folks' sake. We had a terrible scene. I couldn't sleep a wink. They don't approve. They say I'm too young.
You're clearly
They want me
30.
to finish 2 more years of schooling before I even get engaged.
They're really set on her getting that degree in
Larry.
nuclear medicine.
Oh, buck up, sweetheart. They can't stop me.
You mean us,
Relax.
right, dear?
And act normal till after your graduation next week. Then I can borrow Phil's car. Down to Greenville. There's a justice of the peace down there. We'll elope, honey.
But Larry, I wanted a church wedding. And all the parties and showers for me, too. And my folks, that would break Mom's heart.
Well, we're the ones that are getting married, not your folks.
Although it's long
I don't
overdue.
know, Larry. I read somewhere that a marriage without parents' approval has 2 strikes on it from the start.
Although what bowling has to do with
But
this...
if eloping's the only way,
No, maybe it isn't.
He's collapsing under the weight of those eyebrows.
Maybe you could convince your folks that you should get married.
but how, Larry? How?
We'll just say the condom broke.
Say,
Larry? Larry?
I'll bet we could get some advice from the marriage counselor over at the church. His name is Hall. Phil told me about him. He teaches a course in marriage and family living at the college.
Do you think he could help me with my folks?
Well, it's worth a try, isn't it?
The Catholic Church, helping teens make the biggest mistake of their life for over 2,000 years.
My folks don't understand the way I feel.
You know, horny.
So that's the story, Mr. Hall. Do you think you can help us get married?
Oh, sure. Oh, wait, to each other?
Why, I'm in favor of marriage. In fact, I spend a good deal of my time helping people to get ready for marriage. Now, let's see. You've known each other for...
3 months, 1 week, 2 days, and 17 hours.
She didn't count it down to the second?
And you're 18?
It's over.
Sue? And 19, Larry? Have either of you ever been in love before?
Well,
Does the She-Hulk count?
but not like this. This is the real thing.
Yes.
There have been urges.
I had a chum in college who had the real thing with 8 successive girls.
Whatever became of
It's
Pete
all right if
Davidson?
you have it, fine. It's a very important factor in building a happy marriage.
Not as important as, say, equity.
But tell me, how do you know it's real love? The kind you can get married on?
We mentioned the
Why,
urges,
ever
right?
since I first met Larry, I haven't wanted to date anyone else. The whole 3 months now. And besides, I haven't even had 1 quarrel with him.
No quarrels. Why not? No differences of opinion? Or no opinions?
Ding, ding, ding.
What do you talk about on your dates?
You know,
Oh,
stuff.
Movies and popular songs
Orchestras, dancing.
and...
Larry's chosen profession, engineering?
No, I don't understand any of it. I don't like to hear about it.
Why, Sue, honey, I didn't know you felt that way.
The whole basis of our love was you loving everything about me.
Well, it seems you two may have some things to talk over and settle.
Shouldn't there be a picture in that
Might
frame?
well ask yourself some questions before you get too serious about marriage.
Well, what do you mean?
What sort of questions?
Well, questions for Cupid. You might say he should ask them before he fires those arrows.
Arrows are a metaphor
We
for the
call this
penis.
Cupid's checklist. First, do you have similar backgrounds, similar basis for your ideals and standards?
Well, she's French aristocracy
Second.
and he's a Bolshevik.
Are you real friends, comrades, pals through thick and thin? And third, do you both understand marriage? Oh, not the kind in most movies or in most popular songs.
Like,
But
baby,
the
it's
real,
cold outside?
everyday kind of marriage, between real people. Do you understand it?
Well, golly, Mr. Hall, I don't know the answers to all those questions. I just know that I'm in love with Sue. Is that bad?
No, that's good.
Sure. And it's good when you recognize that you don't know the answers. It's a good sign.
Like free firewood?
I don't know. I think we're friends, and maybe we can understand marriage, but backgrounds, how do they affect getting married?
Well, really, they only affect the wedding
Well-
photos.
Come over here a minute. Perhaps I can show you what I mean.
What's that?
I call it a marriage development board.
AKA the
Represents
love tester.
psychological distance between a husband and a wife from the time they are born until they die.
At the hands of their spouses.
But what does it all mean?
Well, let's set it up for you and Sue. When you are born, you inherit a great many differences from your parents. That's part of your background.
That makes sense, all right.
Now, as you grow up, you each develop separate and unique personalities.
The shoelaces represent childhood trauma holding
Your
you back.
mental growth, your emotional outlook, your standards and ideals.
Sue, yours are especially low.
Larry, your distinctly masculine outlook on life, and Sue, your feminine way of looking at things,
Strike that.
your
Reverse it.
capacities to love and be loved. In these and many other ways, you each acquire a background. So that when you first met, you were probably farther apart, probably more distinct individuals than when you were born.
But I don't want to marry a girl like me. I want to
Although,
marry a man like him.
you know, spineless and weak.
So even though we're close together here, we don't know how far apart we are there.
That's right. When you two met, there was probably an early physical reaction, a romantic attraction that pulled you together, a love appeal that hit you sort of boing.
How did you know?
Well, it happened to me.
At the
It
seminary.
happens in some degree to most couples who become happily married. But it takes more than this boing. For you see, if you're too far apart psychologically,
Why are they measuring love on
if
one
your
of those old
backgrounds are
electric
not
football
similar
games?
enough, it can cause a great deal of argument and unhappiness until
It's gone.
Where'd it go?
that's
was
what
never
you've
there
been
at all,
saying about
much like your
romantic
love.
If these other things cause a breakup.
No, sir. This is forever with Larry and me.
Someone's checked out a lot of books.
But don't you think it's wise to take time to find out how much strain these differences might put on your romantic love?
But there isn't any time. Larry's going away in a couple of months.
He's doing a nickel
Yeah.
for armed robbery.
Did you two ever see these figures on length of engagement and how it relates to chances for happiness in marriage?
Did we ever see the thing we
Two
didn't know
separate
about in the
studies
office of the guy we
showed
just
the
met
chance
today?
for happiness
No, we
improves
didn't.
with a longer engagement period. It's fair for 6 months, better for a year or 2 years.
As you can see, by year 4 it
Is
starts to
that
drop
because
off.
there's a better chance to find out some of these differences and become real friends?
Yes, a chance to find out if your relationship will wear well.
Yes, but can't we settle these differences after we're married?
Urges!
And if you aren't successful,
Well, there's always booze.
before you become too deeply involved, find out if the distance might turn out to be too great. Here's another angle that should interest you both. How age when married affects the chance for happiness.
I made this in the
You
third
can see that
grade.
the chances are better after the man reaches 21 or so.
And once the woman reaches 21, we ignore her feelings and tell her to get my damn dinner on the table.
And the same studies showed that the woman must be 19 or 20 before the chances for happiness begin to be good.
But why?
What's the difference between 19 and 21 or so?
2.
Differences in you the next few years. You, Larry, and you, Sue. Young people seem to change and mature in these years from 18 to 21 or even later. So that a person you might marry at 18 or so will seem like quite a different person to you a few years later.
Deflate.
Gee, hon. Doesn't take an engineer to see that we're on the bad part of the curve of these graphs. All of them.
Yeah. I see our chances aren't so good now. What are we going to do? I thought you were going to help us get married.
Bastard, we trusted you.
I believe I can.
Oh, you had us going there.
To build a successful marriage. And yet, you wouldn't try to plan and build a house in 3 months, would you?
Sure, why not?
Shouldn't a marriage have better planning?
This is how far away your in-laws will need to live.
If you two are going to build a successful family team that will last for 40 or 50 years, how long do you think it should take to get ready for it?
All right. How do we know when we've done it?
Oh, Larry. Wow.
When the two of you are ready for marriage, you'll sense a new feeling between you. The two of you united as a pair, thinking as one unit, acting as one unit, in the building of a marriage and a new family.
And I think we know who will be doing the thinking and with what part of his body.
Shows up in the way in which you consider what's best for the pair of you over what you want individually for yourself. Think how often you speak of things from my point of view instead of ours. How often you say, I want, instead of we want.
Eyebrows in this short are freaking me out.
I guess it wasn't my folks that needed convincing, it's me. I mean, it's us, isn't it, Larry?
Yeah, we'll say.
And so, in terms of the checklist for Cupid, Larry and Sue began to examine their readiness for marriage.
Do we have similar backgrounds?
Well, you're first cousins.
Do we agree on our religious beliefs?
Is he willing to sacrifice a
And
goat
have
by the
same
dark of the new
feelings
moon?
about religion in general? Do we have the same ideals and standards and tastes?
Stand still, this is a TikTok video. Oh.
Do we enjoy the same friends? Do we share the same interests?
Let's all head to the country club, have an 8-ball of Coke we can snort.
And what about Sue and me?
Should it be Sue and I?
Are we real friends? Do we have a real happiness in being together? Talking? Or just doing nothing together?
Oh, it could happen to anyone, Larry. I don't care.
Does each of us really want to make the other one happy?
I'm just saying handcuffs and a leather whip would make me very happy. No chance, perv.
Do we have a real interest in each other? And a sense of pride in each other?
Bill, meet my fiancé. Oh, God.
Do we know each other's peculiarities?
The only educational short directed by Ingmar Bergman.
Do we both have a spirit of give and take? Can we quarrel and come out of it with something better than before?
For our silky hair, he'll accidentally inhale its Halo shampoo.
Do we really understand marriage? Do we understand the social aspects of marriage? Have we an understanding about money matters and how important it is to have enough money to do more than just get by?
30 years later, they're still reading that
Do we
book?
understand the physical aspects and the family side of marriage?
Sharshanvi is moving in with you toast
Do
forever.
we know how much work there is to a marriage?
Can your parents leave? I thought they were your
And
parents.
overall, do we have a feeling of paired unity? Those questions were helping us to find out just how strong our relationship was and helping us to strengthen it.
Doing dishes. I've never felt more emasculated.
The next time we called on Mr. Hall, we realized how much he had been helping us. He had been talking for some time with our parents, and there seemed to be general agreement that Sue and I now had a much better idea of just how much psychological distance still separated us.
50 years?
If you want to, Sue, your mother and I, we can make arrangements for you to begin school at State U this fall with Larry instead of at the junior college.
If we want to.
No, I
And
don't.
if you two get along, in school, that is. If you continue to reduce the psychological distance, then perhaps at Christmas vacation or at Easter vacation, we'll be glad to announce the engagement.
Oh, Larry!
Yes, a cheek-to-cheek hug screams life, partner.
And then we can be married when Larry graduates in 2 years. I mean, 1 year and 10 months and 3 days.
Stop using math,
Yes.
dear. It's not ladylike.
If the engagement period gives you two the opportunity to work things out together, if you both still want it.
I guess you might say we're engaged to be engaged.
Is this like that promise ring bullshit?
Mr. Hall, we both want to thank you.
Why?
And say, now do you think we have anything more than
Boing!
Why, yes, I think you've made a good start towards getting ready for marriage.
I haven't had a boing in years. After having 2 daughters, Larry would divorce Sue and move his children to Portland to host a radio show. Hello, Larry. Hello, Larry.